Hello, Michael, David. It is so nice to meet you both.
And
It's lovely to
you.
meet you, Ariel.
I finished the second season. It is amazing. It absolutely blew me away. And I
Oh,
have to say
Great.
that one of the things I love so much about your show is just the fact that you get to find out more and more about these two characters and what they mean to each other through these like zany flashback scenes. They're
yeah,
so much fun.
yeah.
And I think this season in particular, I really expected Aziraphale to be the one to get more in touch with his emotions. But this season, David, it was really your character who went through some real growth, became more honest about his emotions. And I was just wondering, what was it like playing this sort of sarcastic demon who's starting to figure out what love means?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because he's been liberated from his day job. He's no longer having to
Yeah.
toe the company line when it comes to being a demon. So he can sort of allow himself to be a little more honest about how he feels about some things, and that can be quite challenging for him. But it also allows him to maybe confront some truths that he's been denying. I'd say, and without giving anything away, of course, that
Yes.
becomes very relevant, particularly as the story goes on. But yes, I agree. It's nice that we get to see how that relationship is formed over the millennia, and in what way each character has sort of informed the other and allowed the other to slightly bend the rules that they think they might have to live by. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. There's a line in the show about how you guys are kind of black and white, but you found your way to this sort of gray area in between. It's really touching.
Yeah.
Michael, your character gets to let loose and have a lot of fun this season. I think some of my favorite moments are when you're driving in Crowley's car, which I
All
know he
right.
did not appreciate,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
throwing this like Jane Austen themed ball. It's so funny and you're so kind of joyful, but you also have to make these essentially world impacting decisions. And
Mm.
I guess I was wondering sort of what was it like trying to hold those two things as an actor?
Well, I think, I mean, one of the things I've really enjoyed about the character through series one and series two are the things that he really enjoys. There's a sort of because he is sort of a pure character in some ways, there is a sort of a
Yeah.
purity about him in some ways. The moments where I find that the most interesting to play are both in how he feels about Crowley and how he feels when he does things that make him happy, and so there's so it comes from somewhere kind of quite deep in him, I think, and it's the same place that comes that the stuff that's to do with world changing decisions comes from. So it's coming from the same place. It just comes out in different ways, I think. But the seriousness about how much he loves magic is I think somehow the same seriousness that he has about wanting to save the world. That's the ferocity of how much he loves it.
So I have to ask, the two of you have such amazing chemistry together. And because of that, after season one, fans have sort of been dying to see you both get together. And without spoiling anything, do you sort of feel any kind of responsibility to live up to those fan expectations?
Well, it's not really up to us, of course, to decide where these
Sure.
characters go and how this story unravels. That's to do with our
Head office.
with head office, exactly. I mean, if we feel a responsibility, I suppose it's having delivered series one and delivered the adaptation of the much loved book, and seemingly not to have broken too many dreams in doing that. You just want to bring the people that love that with you on a sort of further adventure. So yes, I mean, it's the ultimate trajectory of where these characters land is not in our gift. We just have to sort of
Sure.
carry them along the way as best we can.
But I suppose knowing that it is a story about, at its heart, it is a story about love. I don't think Neil would want to shortchange that story in any way whatsoever. So wouldn't want it to be reductive in any way, and wouldn't want to put
Yeah.
too many labels on that in any way, but to always have the possibility that in the most inclusive way possible, it can be a story that speaks of love to everybody who watches it.
Wonderful. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for talking with me. I am so excited for people to see the second season, especially that finale. It really blew me away.
Oh,
Thank you
great.
both.
Thank you.
Thank you.